Last time I was here, correct me if I was wrong, some of y'all might have been here, is that last time I was here, I was talking about the guillotine and that angle from like kind of the butterfly-ish position. So I'm gonna stay in that position because there's some stuff that I've been playing with. One of the big details that I was talking with a couple guys about lately was how Marcelo made that shit work was like how heavy he was on the head. So like when he would be hanging off, he'd come in for that arm drag, and as he grabbed the arm drag, he's falling with the arm drag. So either he gets the arm drag and he goes to your back, or he gets the reaction where you're trying to support his weight, and then that's where he throws his shoulder up and he's hanging from that guillotine. So if any of y'all are having trouble getting there, sometimes it's the pressure you're putting on the head. We'll revisit that today because that's important on the direction we're going in the rubber guard today. But the first thing I want to talk about is bare minimum at the bottom, getting out from underneath side control. That's like your first step, like day one. You can start off this and anything, and this will like benefit people. You end up doing these shrimps and warm-ups where you're just like shrimping down the mat and you're like pushing yourself down the mat. And it's more about this like movement where you're sliding and almost like mopping the mat. The more important thing that you're doing is the bridge. And so you want to be like taking there, making sure that your feet are coming all the way up underneath your butt, and you're creating this gap to start to create space because there's somebody on top of you in a shrimp. And so when you're shrimping, you want to be able to set up to where you can create this space, and then our shrimp is just pulling ourselves out from underneath to create the negative space for us to do things if somebody's on top of us. So today, just to get the warm up, we're going to start using, who wants to be a newbie? Any volunteers? Here, I'll be free. So, to warm up here, this in the 10 planet system, this is called the jailbreak. All I'm trying to do is start my butterfly guard. Is like the very beginning of all of it. So when I'm in side control, and we've already ended up here, and is anybody beyond like a day one when I say side control? Am I confusing anybody? Okay, we're at least at that level. So she's got this good pressure, and like she's holding me down here. When I go to create the space, I'm going to create the space with my bridge and my frames. And as I do that, I'm going to start to change my angle. Where the jailbreak comes into play, I straighten out that bottom leg, I step over it and put my leg between me and her. And as I start to generate the pressure, I'm going to catch what's important later is this overhook. As I pull through and pull my knee through, I catch this overhook and I'm going to sit up into this like under over position, and then we'll start to play from here on like the whole system we're going to work from. But none of it works if I can't generate that pressure. Frame placement's really important. I don't want to be like too high up here because then I'm getting smashed out and I can't get any leverage. I don't want to be too low because then my hand starts getting trapped, and then yeah, that's what starts playing out. People downplay the Americana, by the way. It's an OG move for real. Like, it works. If you trap that shoulder and do all that, like just a side note on like the Americana, like there, like that's terrible. So anyways, right here, keep it tucked and like your elbows in tight. As you go to bridge, don't try to push them away because that straightens your arms out and create like this dilemma that you have to deal with. You want to stay in this structure. As you bridge and create your space, I straighten my leg out, stick my leg in, and this sometimes will require a little bit of flexibility. Stick it in there, and as I come out of this like frame because she's trying to push back into it, I like push on her and create the leverage to get my overhook, kick in, sit up, and I like keep her in here because I want that tension. If she's pulling back, there's a play we'll do. If she's pressing forward, there's a play we'll do. That's all I want y'all to do is start off in that position and like 5-6 times kick up into that under over, and then we'll practice what we'll do once we get to here. Cool? Yeah, don't.
Oh man, you look better. You look better on here than you do
In real life?
Yeah.
Alright, so one of the big positions that you're trying to get yourself into is like this C position where you're able to play it up. A lot of people end up trying to play butterfly guard and they're playing it and they're sitting back like this. If you're sitting back like this and you're holding on to them, somebody who's a good body lock passer, You can look up like PJ Barch, or like I was just at Ryan Aiken's seminar yesterday, and he did like a body lock passing series that just he did it to me in the roll. Like I almost pooped myself. It was terrible, and it's just like the pressure is real there. So like if you're at all tilted, all that pressure goes into your hips, and the way that these body lock passers go is they lock your hips, and then they keep going where your hips can't follow, and then their shoulders right here, and you're like, and it's terrible. So like if you're gonna play this game, it's like here. So you want to play here. When you get to that upward position, you're starting here. And where a lot of y'all were struggling is that you go here, you bridge, and then you're still straight like this, and you're trying to do this. And that's like flexibility makes it hard. And what we're about to do later is it will get easier if you get this concept now. Is that if we take this, we straighten our leg out and we get on our hip, then I can just place my foot right there where I want it. And this is going to be really important later, because if you notice, I'm already in an important position if you like know where we're headed. So when you're going here and you're trying to get it, you're trying to create an angle underneath it, because we want to turn towards the problem. Because if we turn away, we know what happens when they take our back. So like when I turn into them, I'm turning into them, but I'm creating space for myself to start creating something to happen. Once I go here and stick my foot in, I use that pressure to generate the first bit of pressure where they're coming forward. And I catch my overhook. The overhook is where everything comes from. Like Eddie talks about like that being the root of like all of our systems between lockdown and all that, is like you're trying to fight for that overhook. Because everybody's taught to fight for the underhook. So when I get this overhook, I'm clamping down on it, coming out. There's my tension on their body to get myself up onto my own hips. And then I'm in this angle where I'm pushing into it. Now I'm able to clamp down, hit this, and start to reach. As I tuck my elbow, that elbow that's tucked, that foot pushes, and I hit the John Jock sweep. And I hit it right over right there. So without your partner, real quick, I want you to get into that position and feel the difference between here and here. And did you see how my hips changed angles? It's because I'm just taking my butt cheeks and sliding them back, but keeping my core in the same place. And that's how I get in this position. And you get your overhook, which is where you clamp down. Your underhook is what reaches. You go to your overhook side and press off. And if you can go up and touch, you want to be pressing off that foot, you should be able to rewind right back in the same position. And you should be able to do it both sides. Super controlled like that. That overhook that creates the tension, and the underhook that makes them go off balance. As you create that foot, the reason that you're leaving it posted is you're pushing off of it. So, come here, Luke. I'm in side control and I have my frames, right? We go to get out and we bridge, straighten that leg. And you see how I'm on this hip? That's where I step over and put my butterfly guard, get it engaged. And now she starts to sniff what's up. And that's when I come over, grab this overhook and secure it, stick this other one in, and I'm sitting up, see how I'm on my hips the whole time. I hit this here. And now I'm tucking this, which pulls this and puts her off angle, and I reach with this, which further puts her off balance. My butterfly guard stays engaged, and I leave my foot on the ground, and just kick her over, just like so. And you see how that final where I left it hooked in, windshield wiper off, that's the detail to like how you don't get tangled up in another guard play. Or another leg entanglement or whatever, because that's where they catch you. It's like when you're here and light on your knee, they get pushed back down in and you get stuck down and locked down and playing that game. So if you leave this flared out, staple it down, windshield wiper out, or full back. So, real quick, from the bottom, here, I'm hitting bridge, forward, here, 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 all the way around.
They fit
hook,
nicely.
and you don't want to lift because as soon as I lift,
They slide.
my knees go straight. So that's where your knees become weak. It's like all these tendons are weak, especially if you put them like that. If we put them all in line in this like 90 degree, that's where you have your strength. So when you're making your sweep, you're posting with that inside foot, and you're just leaving the structure there. You're not lifting with it. You're just here and leaving it in that square and taking it to the ground where their hip can't reach out.
Interesting. I've never thought about like it's almost these brushing styles are very similar to arm bridging.
Yes. You want it out and like frame it out because that's your like structure.
Yeah.
Because like your knees, like I've hurt my knee a couple of times. Like when somebody is like 350 pounds plus, and like there's guys out there that are a D lineman that's 350, 360 pounds, and they can hip switch like they're 170 pounds.
Yeah.
And so you get them in this position, you're trying to butterfly them, and you go lift them like that, and there's 360 pounds on the end of that. You're just like, click, oh god. Like, yeah. You probably lift it, and then it kind of like almost heel hooks you, like as they go to pass. My advice on that, two things. One, just let them pass. Who cares if they pass your guard? They'll go tell their little blue belt buddy. Like, oh yeah, you passed my guard. Yeah, I passed your guard. Yeah, like so, let those guys pass your guard because like it's not worth it. Recover your guard, like work on your guard recovery when that happens. And then the other thing is like don't lift with that structure, especially when they're bigger or stronger than you, because you're just like putting yourself in a compromised position right there. Versus being in this like squared position where you can like create frame. Who here like likes to find themselves in body lock pass? Y'all, anybody fancy themselves a body lock pass?
I will after today.
All right, so your arms are long enough. You know what I'm talking about when I say like body lock pass, right?
I think so.
So when I get into this position, let's play here for a second. So when I'm here, and they decide that they want to like lock their hands behind my back and like start to try to pass. Yeah. So see how like she's already like creating a bunch of space right here? A lot of times if you're trying to like pass here, I'll end up being able to just come up underneath you, create space, and even like put my foot on your hip, push you away from me. And this is like the first play I'm gonna start talking about is this like wandering foot. I take my leg out, I just pull this one out, throw it up over their shoulder, reach up, hug my knee, shoot my leg or arm through right here to get the thumb down. This is like New York, Michigan. Now she already kind of has the angle on my hip to where you see how I'm flat on my back. I'm way better off if I can take my belly button and turn it to the ground. As I turn it to the ground, see how my foot stays on her hip to kind of keep that from turning? I'll fire and flip, come all the way over, grab my hand, jump through, and hook right here. So you have two options when you get, all right, you have way more than two options. Here's my philosophy on rubber guard. I didn't really plan on diving off into my philosophy on rubber guard, but here we are. My philosophy on rubber guard is that it's the space between an omoplata and a triangle. There's a whole bunch of other shit you can do in between. But the names that we use to describe each position is describing a moment in time. So when we talk about mission control New York, you're talking about that pause between the triangle and the omoplata. And so everybody knows what I'm talking about is like, so here. Because as I'm coming in here and going for this, is there's an omoplata here where I stick out all the way around, cover her shoulder, take this, bring up all the way up, just to reflect the body up right there. Or it spins all the way through, she depends, and I shoot this leg up and I go, there, here, we're hook the red, the triangle area there. Those are the two basic Gracie 101s, like where that is. But then, if I take it and I pause right here,
Yep.
I have this position we call mission control New York. The reason we call it New York is because sometimes our foot is,
That box back in Harless.
yeah, right here. And this is called New Jersey. And there's two ways to play New Jersey. is you can staple their leg down by putting your toe to the ground right here. I'm not tall enough to do this to like guys, especially in the upper weight classes. If I'm playing like one of the bigger tournaments. So what I'll do is I'll do it like a butterfly hook and push their knee out. As I push it out like that, the reason it's called New Jersey is because nobody likes Jersey. They all want to go to New York. You hop through and you're right there and you're a lot more stable right here on their hip. Once I'm here, this is where you have a lot of options. Depends on what she's doing. She's here, and let's see here. What do you feel like you should do? Yeah, as she starts to press into me like this, I'll start to turn belly down. I'll reach over and see how she tucked her head. That is going to prevent and make it a little bit harder for me to do that fire and flip. Yeah, see how you're putting your head in my way? So I'll go right here and do what we call a meat hook. And I'll hook right here in her armpit with my fingers. And now I have leverage on her shoulders. And then I'm hanging out. I'll roll this through, hook this in. This is called the stops. You can hook right there. You can grab behind their elbow. I think it's a Hazlet is what they call this. You take it and you pull, and there's like a shoulder lock somewhere in there. Yeah, right there. Or my favorite for like realism is I take this, I flare my knee out, I put it back, and I go all the way back. And I catch like a mountain. Not a triangle, whatever you want there. So there's a quick detour down rubber guard lane, but what we're gonna do real quick is I want y'all to play from right here, under the cover. And for 2-minute rounds for a second, I want you to play right here. And you have your position. You see, this is a look into what we just talked about, where if I'm tucked up underneath, she can rock me back, and now that's problematic. If I have my hips, my chest stays in the same place, but my hips slide back just a touch. Now I can push back into her, and we have like this battle that we can play. The top person, I want you to get to side control. Hold it for 3 seconds, like 3 Mississippi. The bottom person, you can sweep, submit, you can hold them in rubber guard for 2 minutes, whatever you want to do. But that's the goal right here, and then we'll swap top bottom, swap people, and then we'll get a little bit more into some details once y'all played with it a little bit. Because like I want you to sit here and be able to know that like here I have a bunch of different options, and my whole goal from bottom is to either end the fight once I get to that like underhook, overhook. I'm here. My goal once I get to this is I'm either going to end the fight or get on top. Those are the only 2 real options. You don't want to hang out there forever. You want a 2-minute drill, like 1.5 minutes, be able to get to something. So use it for a couple rounds where we're here and hit the sweep, hit the, you can submit, you can use your triangle, you can use your go-go's, any of that. You can use anything that you just saw, but I want you just to kind of play here. So it's not, I'm not saying like sit here and go like 1,000%, you know, win the match. What I'm saying is you're getting in a specific position. Try to move through it using these things, and then we're gonna come back and review it so that you know like, oh, but when I tried to do this, he just like didn't move. Well, here's how you make them move. Yeah. Anybody want me to run through your options one more time? Yeah. Yes, please. Okay. So you'll be doing it on somebody else, so you can see it. Let me get here. What did you do? Thank you. So we're gonna start off with butterfly underhook. I have this underhook. I have this overhook. Your overhook, you're not like here and just kind of like drooping it in or whatever. You're grabbing it and you're like digging your shoulder in and tucking your elbow so you create some kind of leverage or something. Your underhook is kind of dug in underneath right here, and when you're on top, it depends on what's happening, on what your reaction is. But a lot of it also depends on you playing the game, because let's be real here. All he really has to do is go, you know what, screw this, and just get up. Now we're not doing jiu-jitsu. So like this is playing the chess match a little bit. So like when you're up underneath here and you're getting here, I want y'all to get here, and your first option is to hit what we were talking about earlier. We can sit here, tuck, go here, post, push them, take them all the way over here, and then once you get here, hit like a 3-minute sitting. 1, 2, 3. All right, that was the score in ADCC. Whatever you want to use your marker. But then, let's say I can't sweep him, and we're sitting here, and I'm trying to get him over, and he's like really like facing back and doing all that. That's when I can sit here and I can start to fire this rubber grapple, where I come out, over, right here, stay really relaxing, firing, flip, boom, there. So that goes over. And we can go over the details how to finish in a minute, but what I really want you to do is like figure out how to get to them. Is sit there and play it. You got 2 minutes. And like about as hard as I was just going with him is all I want. It's like you shouldn't be like really breathing hard and having to work hard, because if you're having to work hard, then it's not really working. Because you can add strengths when it matters, and you won't have to remember to. It's like I tell fighters that all the time. Like you don't have to remember how to hit hard. I promise you, you're gonna remember how to hit hard. Don't practice that part. Practice hitting right. You can get submissions, but submissions will come once you learn how to do that, because you have to compromise their posture and move them around. So pay more attention to what we're talking about, the sweep, and then all the other like bells and whistles that we're talking about today will start to come together as you understand that very first lock them down, hit the sweep. Their reaction off that first thing is what develops everything else that you're talking about. So trying to make that reaction happen, and if that's all you do for 2 minutes, that's what you're trying to do. If you're more advanced and you get them to post, or you get them to pull their arm back, or them to try to pass your guard, then now you've solved the puzzle to move to the next piece of the puzzle. But until that reaction happens, you don't have that puzzle piece to do anymore. So you have to make that reaction happen to start building the building blocks to do the next thing. Cool? All right, ready? You're going to already be at a disadvantage. So sit up real quick. So look, see where your butt is? There you go. Keep your chest lean forward. There you go. See how now y'all both have kind of an equal playing ground versus already being laying back. Got it? All right, everybody cool? Before I dive off into what I saw. Go.
Everything a rubber guard part of it.
Everything.
Just yeah.
Okay.
Sweet was I was getting.
Did you get to New York?
No.
Did you
Or
get
New Jersey? No, neither one.
yeah,
I didn't get that far north at all.
Okay. Where were you finding yourself?
Albuquerque.
I was in San Diego, bro.
But it was
Those are called Malibu beams. What? Sorry.
trying to get the leg up. I didn't know. I got the leg up. I didn't know what came to grab when.
Okay. So the details in like getting your secondary hand like right in there.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So when I'm trying to get that, so Eddie talks about rubber guard being rooted in this overload, and rubber guard's a patience game. I can't really force it to happen. It has to like kind of occur because they just go well, all right. And so like when I'm sitting here and I'm trying to create it, I'm trying to let me think about like what were they doing when were they trying to pass your guard, or were they clamping behind your back?
I think it was clamping behind my back.
Yeah. So like okay,
Well,
right here.
Well, he was higher.
I had a
Like
on demand officer. Okay, I was kind of
like this,
locked up.
like this.
Yeah.
Like you were trying to like squeeze past, like this is pretty typical right here. So right here, if I'm trying to create rubber guard out of this, I'm sitting here, and what we'll have to make a pit stop in is talk a little bit about home control. Is that like as we're coming in here, and I'm trying to get my leg up, it's that top leg that I'm kicking out, right? And I'm creating this pressure that if she tries to keep hanging on, you come up here and look where I'm at, right here. I can put leverage on her neck on this inside and start to push it out. Now, if she's like still really committed on hanging on to that, it's just a matter of time before I can create all the leverage I need to get her to separate her hand. As I do that, I can come in here and clear her head and go under my leg like that and let go of this, hug my knee. This is where my like reinforcement's coming, where I can hold it in. This is coming in and my elbow is in her collarbone. You can come in and clear her head, stick your arm in and go underneath and have it in that same position. And now this is called chill go, because you can chill go. And your elbow is in their neck and it's right here. And you're right here before what they call the Kung Fu move or the firing salute. Like the Kung Fu move is where you take it and you flip it over their head and flip it through. I don't like this because see how I have to roll my wrist through, come back underneath and grab her neck, grab my hands in like a gable grip, and she'll start to fight this bottom leg, trying to pass it with her hand. Yeah, just like that. And I jump my leg over and then I squeeze. When I squeeze like I'm here, and I like straighten my hips out into the side of their neck. So if I can join my hands there, they're gonna die. But when we're in this position and we're trying to like get this, it's all about like being how high up I can get this leg and how much clamp I can create on their shoulder and push down. As I do that, I hug my knee to create more clamp, to create even more leverage. I leverage in that way. I don't turn this way, because if I turn this way, it will spread me up. Yeah, now all the pressure's on my hip, and it starts opening this up. Day's not over, I can go to like crackhead control where I take my leg and go over, and like start holding them in this way, but then now we start playing towards Dead Orchard. And to be honest, I've been flying and stuff, and my hips ain't ready for no Dead Orchard right now. So, I play on this hip, on the inside, trying to put my belly button to the ground, trying to hold it like that. When I go to the go-go's, I leave my arm so they're like into that. And I say go, I leave my arm here, and I don't throw it on the chill. I do what they call a fire flip, where I leave my arm here in place, fire, flip, here, it's already there, grab my hand, and there's the go-go. That's the go-go clinch.